I miss cheat codes. I have so many fond memories of taking games to ridiculous limits or warping them in crazy ways, thanks to pressing a few hidden combinations on my Xbox controller. Some codes gave you God mode, some turned your car into a flying death machine, and others just made the game hilariously easy. But it was all part of the magic back then, so what happened to cheat codes? Why don't we see them in games anymore? Remember punching in some crazy button combo like up, up, down, down, left, right, left to unlock something game-breaking? That's the era of games I grew up in, and it feels like those days are long gone. Let's dive into why cheat codes all but disappeared from video games. Cheat codes were more than a fun way to mess around, they had an essential place in gaming culture. Take GTA San Andreas for an example. If you pressed a few buttons, you could spawn a tank, make the cars fly, enable mayhem mode where citizens all had guns and fought to the death like they were in the Purge, or turn your character into an invincible god. Basically, if you knew your way around the controller, you could have ultimate power at your fingertips. But it wasn't just GTA. Remember the LEGO Star Wars games? Unlocking the cheat codes in Dexter's Diner or exploring the Mos Eisley Cantina in the original Saga, where you could activate silly game modes like Bounty Hunter rockets or even the Stud Magnet. It made games feel fresh every time that you played, especially if you'd already 100%ed it. But back in the day, the internet wasn't as vast as it was now, so finding these cheat codes wasn't just as simple as googling them and getting hundreds of results. There wasn't really a reliable connection to get them, or a plethora of YouTube tutorials like now. No, discovery of these cheat codes was through more of an almost mystical process back then. You'd either scrounge cheat codes from gaming magazines or learn about them from friends at school. It was almost like a secret club. Someone would be like, hey, did you know there's a code to unlock all weapons in Vice City? And then you just rush home to try it out to see if that kid was lying or not. Sometimes those cheats were even hidden or written into game manuals, which is another lost treasure. They'd be hidden in the back waiting for those curious people to stumble upon them by chance. It was kind of like a treasure hunt sometimes to look for these. I think it's only right though to talk about some of the more unforgettable cheat codes. Goldeneye 007, which was on the N64, had an infamous DK mode, which made everyone's heads comically ginormous. Or how about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, where you could turn on moon gravity mode and make your skater invincible to wipeouts. Even some of the more older games like Mortal Kombat had some hidden codes to enable things like the highly controversial extra gore mode or secret characters. Using the cheat codes made games feel limitless. They gave us all freedom to break some of their rules and explore them in the ways developers never intended. Or maybe they did, and that's why they included them. But now it seems that cheat codes have practically vanished off the face of the earth. Why is that though? Part of this reason I think lies in how games have changed. Modern games move towards achievements and trophies, and the concept of cheat codes kind of clashes with the idea of fair competition or unlocking things legit. I mean, you can't exactly brag about acing a game if you use God mode, right? I'm guilty of this. Also, another reason is there's so many microtransactions and DLCs now in video games. Cheat codes back in the day used to be a free way to unlock this content and awesome power-ups, but today, game companies are owned by huge conglomerates and they need to turn a profit, so they want to monetize everything. So instead of entering a code for an unlockable character, now it's probably going to be behind a paywall instead. And in multiplayer games, cheats would also ruin the balance. I mean, imagine if Black Ops had God mode cheats. It would be a complete, utter chaos experience. There's already a cheating problem in that game as it is. Developers took cheating more seriously as online play became more and more normal, and even single player cheats, which are morally okay, seemingly were put into timeout too. So sure, we've lost the fun of bending the rules and some experimentation. Cheat codes encourage replayability and to play games in a new and unpredictable way, and made single player campaigns feel fresh the second and third time around. But remember, luckily, you can still use community made trainers or mod menus to do much of the same thing, and as long as you're using them offline, it's completely okay to do so. There's a sense of nostalgia though tied to those days of finding and using cheat codes that we can't really get back, but at least we can go back and spawn a flying car in Vice City one more time if we so choose. A lot of the old ported games from consoles on PC still have the cheat codes, so you can still mess around with them. So what happened to cheat codes? They were a product of a different era, one focused more on fun and less so on monetization. They might not fit as well into today's landscape or be as common or popular as they once were, but they'll still hold a special place in our hearts and minds. But what do you think? Do you think there's a different reason we don't see cheat codes in games anymore? And what were your favourite cheat codes back in the day? Drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe and watch this video next to continue this nostalgia trip.